We are live.
My walk zone. Can you zoom in just a hair? Little less, just a hair less. Hair more. There you go, right there. Perfect. With my back hurting, I look like I'm like this when you go too far. Like this, I've been walking around. It's a lot better today, boy. Woo.
Good.
Just a strain, you know, but takes you out of commission for a minute.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, we're
Good.
good. Sound is good. We're on live.
All right. Good morning, everybody. Right? Okay. You can hear us good? Okay. I wonder if we're going to have anybody here today. We had some people that registered. We never normally do it.
Not on the playbook.
No.
No one registered.
So we may have maybe a fake crowd, but it's fine.
Oh, upside down.
So, is there any way for me to know if we have anybody on?
Not easily that I can tell. That
How do you tell?
Well, I was just looking at that right now. So, like right here, I can see live viewers, and it shows in all. So this is live viewers who are on the webinar.
Yeah.
And who's on the sales coach, who's on Facebook, and who's on YouTube. Matt Lomo just said Matt is here. So Jim Skinner like post. So I have certain things. Even if I was to put this on like your screen,
Yeah.
you wouldn't see.
Yeah, Matt just texted me.
Yeah.
He said I'm on the call.
Yeah, good.
He probably heard news of it.
Oh, yes.
Special hello to Matt Lomiller.
Yeah. Matt! What's happening, Matt? Hey, guys. Get going here in just a minute. Give the other people a chance to log on. Great to be with you today. We're talking about negative equity, big subject. Okay. We ready to rock and roll, Chris?
We're ready to rock and roll. We got folks joining.
All right. Well, hey, good morning, everyone. We're going to talk about overcoming negative equity today. It's going to be a great time together. We sure appreciate you being with us. We know how valuable your time is, and when you take time out and say, hey, listen, I'm going to spend some time becoming better today than yesterday, it matters, right? It makes an impact. I just want to talk about this. You probably don't need Edmunds or any other news article, but I think if you just go to Google, like I did, and type in negative equity on car deals, you'll find a ton of information. How negative equity happens, why it happens, and what's happening right now in the marketplace. I just printed this out. 1/4 of all sales have negative equity this year, with an all-time high of over $6,000. Now, we've always had it. I've been selling cars for 39 years. It's always been here. And maybe today the negative equity is much greater, and maybe the percentage is higher, but it's been always something that's been a roadblock. What do I mean by a roadblock? A roadblock is something that gets in our way of going to where we want to go, right? And so then we have to detour. Negative equity has always kept us from, it increases payments, right? And sometimes when payments increase, we lose our buyer. We don't sell the cars. Negative equity makes financing tougher, and of course, negative equity really affects buyers on how they feel about their trade, their trade's value. Somehow, their trade should always be worth what? What they owe on it, right? So it's been a roadblock, right? And I want to say this. We can overcome this roadblock. We can take a little detour and overcome it and close our sale profitably. The thing is, we don't want negative equity to become a roadblock that we create. What do I mean by that? A lot of salespeople discover negative equity earlier. They think the buyer's buried and can't or won't do anything. They shortcut the sale, just trying to see if they can get the numbers to work, and of course, the numbers don't work out. So we don't want to compound the natural effect of negative equity by shortcutting our sales process. Okay, so here's what we're here to do today. Today's Zoom is really about what? We're trying to overcome that. We want to give you some strategies to overcome negative equity and sell more cars. And if you want to do that, we're going to go back to why we call this automotive sales coach, right? Prepare to win, right? And to win, it's simple. It's not easy. You got to have a winning game plan. You got to have the skills to execute, and then you have to execute with excellence. Today, we're going to talk about this winning game plan, and you're going to find out that you already know how to overcome negative equity, whether you know that or not. I don't know if you have the skills, and I don't know if you're following your game plan or not, but we're going to go ahead and talk about that. And I want to tell you this. I want to remind you that you matter so much. The simple formula for success in the car business is why I'm still here. The better you are and the more you do, the more you make, right? Once I got that in my head, I'm like, holy cow, this is up to me. This is my business within a business. No problem. And so you matter, what you do matters, and how you do it matters. In other words, you have the ability to improve your results. If you're struggling with negative equity, if you're losing deals because of payments or trade value, you can stop doing that by learning what we're talking about today, developing the skill and the mindset, and taking action on it every single day. All right, so let's start with this. Why do people have negative equity? I could say that into a group. I could say write down why they're negative, right? And I think the key thinking here is to remind yourself that it's not because of you. Even if you sold them the car, negative equity is not your fault. And we need to understand that so we're not on the defensive. Let me ask this. Don't you feel sometimes like the buyer's attacking you? 10 grand for my car, I owe 17 grand. And you feel like it's what? A personal attack. The first thing I want you to do is relax, because they're not attacking you. They're frustrated with where they're at. That's the truth of it. They're frustrated. And they're taking their frustrations out on who? They're taking it out on you. So don't misread that language of them saying, you suck and I hate you. What they're saying is, I don't like the position I'm in, and you happen to be the one that's in front of me. All right? So here's what I want you to remember. We always start with what we know. Always, always, always. Your thinking drives your actions, and your actions drives your result. The first thing we know is you don't appraise trades, and your manager doesn't appraise trades. We appraise the condition of the trade. It's the market that determines its value. What do I mean? When you guys look at a car, you're not trying to decide what it's worth. You're looking at its marketability, the color, the condition, the equipment, the repairs and reconditioning needed to put it out on the lot. We put all that in the computer, and the computer goes and looks at what cars are being bought, sold, and traded for, and that's how you come up with a value. It's you appraise the condition, the market determines the price. Keep that in mind, because that's a story you can use to help buyers overcome the fear of being ripped off. Not only do they owe more than what the car's worth, they're wondering, are they actually being fair with me? Are they telling me the truth? Should I believe this person? And we know that this is part of the logic, isn't it? Okay, so many buyers find it's too long. Let me replace many with most, right? The longer you finance your car, whether it be new or used, the more negative equity you're creating. That's just the simple math of traditional financing. Now, listen, if you haven't done it yet, take our leasing course, Doubling Your Business with Trade Cycle Leasing. Leasing 101 is the tag right in your courses. Take that course. It breaks down how simple financing or traditional financing works. That you pay interest on the outstanding balance. So it's so easy. The longer your term, the more interest you pay in that first year, the bigger negative equity you have, and of course it increases. So some finance too long, and of course the cars are they finance paying off the car like this, and the car is depreciating like that. The cars depreciate too fast. Most buyers put too little down, and maybe because we're asking for too little. Can I tell you something? You're gonna get what you ask for in this life, right? If you don't ask, you don't eat, they say. And so I think that a lot of times we're asking for very tiny down payments. Maybe if you put 0 so people can know they can buy one on 0, maybe 0, 10%, and 20% is the way to increase your down payments. Certainly, if you want to increase the down payments you're getting, increase your sales right now, increase your gross right now, and put your buyer in a better position for the next car, take our course on Cash Down. It's right on the main menu, Cash Down. It'll teach you how to use that teeter-totter to land people on it, and we'll talk about that in a minute. And of course, buyers often finance their taxes, their fees, and many also flip over what? Negative equity on the new cars. And of course, a condition of a car can definitely affect the value. And so some people that haven't maintained the car as well will have less negative value. But sometimes it's no fault of their own. It could be the model, the color, or whatever the equipment. It's just not desirable 3 years after the day they bought it. Which is, by the way, why you should maybe avoid fad colors, because you don't know what that's going to be like a few. Okay, so they're upside down, not because of you, because of just the way it works, right? And the choices they made on financing. If they had paid cash, they wouldn't be upside down. Now, we don't want them to pay cash. My point is, though, it's not something you did. It's how financing works. Okay, I put a graph together. And by the way, this comes directly from our leasing training. If you want to do it, it just shows you graphically, when they take out the loan, typically they're borrowing more than the price of the car. That's before they start making a payment. And you can see in year 1 the value versus the balance. You don't really get any equity till about here, and this is a 5-year loan, then it's paid for and it's full equity. That's really kind of a generic cycle for you to see. And by the way, all that data is in that leasing course if you want to dig deeper. Okay, how do you overcome negative equity? Let me give you 7 things that you must have in order for the buyer to say, you know what, I don't like it, but you make sense, I'll take it. I'm not worried, right? I want to move forward and get the car I want to get. The first thing you need is relationship and trust. Yes or no? If I'm going to consult with a buyer, and they're going to look at me and say, oh my God, that's all my trade's worth. Or, oh my God, those payments are so high. If I'm going to have influence, if I'm going to be able to consult, I need to have relationship and trust. Is that true? It's true. Otherwise, if they don't trust you, why would they even listen to your argument, right? Okay, and if they don't like you, they'll never trust you. You need to reset your buyers thinking about their trade's value. So long before you sit down and give them the trade number, you need to say to them, let's look at your car together. We call that the sound appraisal. We'll be talking about that in just a second. But if I don't reset their value, it's going to be hard. Number 3, I need to get them committed. Value, desire, and commitment. Wow, I love this new car. Wow, I really want this new car. This new car is a good buy. Can I take it home today? We said that commitment builds flexibility. You should know that by now. And if I can get my buyer in love with the new car, they're much more likely to say yes to the old car, even if there's negative equity. Get rid of the old car. You need to confidently present your deal sheet. I've seen salesmen with negative equity say to the buyer, all we could get you for your car based on the appraisal or the market is this. All we can do is this. And you still owe this, right? You gotta roll that over into your new loan. Oh my goodness. You've got to set, it is what it is, and we teach you how to present that deal, right? Your new car, you're saving this, your old car, taxes and fees, the accessories we talked about, of course. Listen, we're going to pay off this balance on your old car, and the new payments reflect that, and it's going to be really simple. Just choose a payment and term and down payment, and let's rock and roll. The car's yours. Present it the way you've been trained, and of course, you need to be prepared for resale reaction. No matter how well you do the job, some people are still going to push you, right? How are you going to respond when they say, oh my God, I can't take that kind of loss on my car? Are you ready with your empathy, your logic, and your redirect and your reassure and your re-ask, the 5 steps? And of course, turning the trade value into real trade value, very important. It's not just a number on the car, but let's look at the entire financial package, including what makes up real trade value. And you're going to have to use cash down. For every dollar upside down, if you get $1 down, they're not upside down anymore, mathematically. You'll sell more cars when you get more money down. Okay, what does this sound like to you? By now you're like, come on, Dave. You're talking about the same thing over and over. We want the silver bullet we can shoot into the negative equity deal and make a deal. There's no such thing. Nothing great just happens. That's the point of the sales process. The sales process assumes your buyer has 3 fears. I don't want to buy the wrong car. I don't want to pay too much. And I sure don't want to be hassled or pressured. It assumes that up front. And why? I don't want to pay too much. I want to make sure I get enough for my trade. I don't want to take a hit. That's all part of paying too much. The process assumes that. And the best way to overcome an objection is to keep it from popping up. So why not use your sales? Does your sales process not do all this? Okay, I've outlined it, and if you've printed those handouts out there, you know I went through and I outlined these sales steps. Now, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it because everybody I'm speaking to right now is a subscriber, is a partner. My question is, where are you with your knowledge and your skill and your action? In other words, you've got access to what the best of the best use. You have access to tools that will help you close more deals, make more money, build excited, loyal, lifetime customers, and live with that confidence that comes from being a professional. Joy, peace, and satisfaction. You have the tools at your fingertips. Are you using them? Have you learned it? And have you practiced it, developed skill? Not have you memorized it. Have you learned it? Have you walked through to understand it? And as you practice it over and over, it becomes easier and easier to do really well. And the more you do it, the more you believe it. The more you believe it, the more a buyer believes it. Isn't that true? Okay. So here's the thing. Let's walk through these real quick. If you're going out there and you have a negative equity customer, I'm pretty sure that everybody who drives on has negative equity. That's what I think in my mind. I'm pretty sure that everybody who drives on has been online. I'm pretty sure that everybody that drives on has unrealistic thinking about prices and payments and trade. I'm pretty sure that's all my buyers. And guess what I do? I put them all into my sales process funnel and I welcome them in a way that makes them feel comfortable, right? Hey, how are you doing today? Beautiful day. Thank you so much for coming in. How can I help you? Oh, rock and roll. No problem. I've got you. I can totally help you with that. Come on. I'm David, and you are? Fantastic. It's great to meet you. Hey, have you bought a car from us before? No? Well, thank you for coming. We appreciate you. How did you hear about us then? Right? On the welcome, we make them comfortable by asking them good questions about them, and we learn. We learn about them. What do they want, right? They say, how can I help you today? We learned their name. We learned if they bought a car from us before, and if not, how they found us. And then, of course, last thing, so do you live in the area? We know if they've driven to get to us or they want to do business in town. Valuable information that helps the buyer feel what? This person understands me and knows me. Then we sit down and we talk to them. So what got you interested in this car, right? What's important to you? Are you adding or replacing? What are you replacing? Why did you decide now? Oh, you're adding? What's going on in your guys' life that you need a car now? When we use those 5 and 6 simple questions to create comfortable conversations, we use a pad of paper, we actively listen, we write down notes, we affirm what we heard, our people, your buyers, your customers, your clients are going to feel comfortable. What are they going to feel? This person knows me. This person understands me, right? This is so important. So do you have the tools and knowledge already to build relationship and trust? We said you need that to overcome, right, negative equity. Do you have it? If you're using these sales process steps, then you have it, and it's going to work for you. This does 3 things. Creates that consultant relationship. They like you. Creates the influence. They trust you. And it creates the urgency They want it now. Now listen, a lot of guys are saying, create urgency, salesman. I'm going to tell you what, all you have to do is find out what made you decide now is the time to replace it. What made you decide now is the time to add. That's all you need. You need them to tell you why they are here or why they're on the phone right now. There's a reason, and if they state it to themselves and to the universe and to you, it automatically builds urgency, that desire to take the new car home today. Okay, so relationship and trust. What about resetting their thinking on trade value? Listen, this has been said for a long time. Hey, a lot of people have said silent appraisal is a great way to get your buyer to look at their car through the buyer's eyes. Isn't that true? People have said, you know what, buyers come in and they're looking at their car through a seller's eyes, right? Oh, it's perfect. I love it. It's in great shape. It needs nothing. When you take them out to look at it, what do they find out? Here's why I don't want it. This is so important. I know that a lot of people are practicing active delivery with managers. I think that's a great step. I also believe that works better if we've done a salesperson silent appraisal. Walk around the car. What did you like? What did you not like? Right? If you could change something. We ask good questions which give us pre-sale information to help build value and desire and commitment in the new car, don't we? But while we're doing that, walking around the car, it automatically resets their expectations and reminds them why they didn't want it. It really helps us build get valuable pre-sale information, their hot buttons in their lifestyle. It might even help us set the stage for selling our environmental packages and stuff like that. So, will resetting your buyer's expectation early in the process help you overcome negative equity? Absolutely, right? So right now, we have a lot of salesmen who greet the customer, oh, I owe 15 grand and I was online, it said 10 grand, or they say, I owe 15 grand and you're looking at the car and like, oh my God, they're buried. I want to go to my manager and shortcut this thing. And then you wonder why they say no to the trade value or payments or the deal you offer. We're talking about doing what you know you should do, doing your whole job, building relationship and trust with the welcome and understand goals, and resetting expectations of the trade with the silent appraisal. Okay, how about this? Build value, desire, and commitment in you, your car, and the dealership. Are you taking them out on the lot so they can look and choose different vehicles or pulling some choices up? When the buyer chooses the car, they're more committed to it. Are you opening the doors and the hood and walking around the car, not to tell them about the car, but to show them how the car is going to make their life better? Are you telling them that value story to reset their thinking on and build value in the pricing? And are you taking them on a test drive to create that mental ownership? Are you going with so you're there to hear any objections or any affirmations you need, right? Are you using our full trial close to get the buyer to eliminate fear and make a commitment? Yes or no? Are you doing the dealership tour and assuming the close, right? Assuming the close, building value in the dealership and service after. This is a huge one. If you're shortcutting sale number 2, then it's going to be very hard to overcome the negative equity, the mental problem they have with the high payments or low trade. And the EMI, oh my gosh, this is the number one way to build confidence in our whole deal package is have a manager talk to the customer first. Okay, so you're going to build relationship and trust, reset the expectations on the trade value, and of course now we're going to build value and desire and gain commitment in you, really, in the car, in the dealership. It's very important. Okay, how about confidently present your deal sheet? I took you through this. When we present this confidently, it builds confidence in the numbers. Even if the numbers suck in their mind, what does that mean? I'm getting 10 grand for a car I owe 15 grand. Even if they're not what they wanted to see, the way we present the deal will help them feel better saying yes. Don't you owe it to them for that? So if I go to a car, this worked out great for you, Grace. Here's your new car, you're saving this. Here's your old car, the taxes, fees, and accessories we talked about, of course. Now listen, we're going to pay off that balance completely with this new loan. Don't worry about that. That's over. We'll handle the paperwork. And here's your new payment options. This is really great. I made it simple by offering you some choices. This is really important that you can do this and you do it well. Here's a big problem. A lot of salesmen go to the desk, they get the numbers, and they look at it and go, oh my God, they're not going to do this. This is what they wanted. And that's what breaks down deals. You know why salesmen feel that way? Is it possible that they don't have a solid trial close? Maybe they shortcutted selling the car, building value, desire, and gaining commitment. Maybe shortcutted building relationship and trust. Can I tell you, confidence in the deal sheet comes from everything you did before. Okay, so you need that. How about this? Using resell, re-ask. Do you know how to use it? I say to sales teams all the time, are you prepared for that I want more for my trade or that payment's too high? If you're not, it's ridiculous because you're going to hear it every day. Not being prepared is ridiculous, right? It's like not having a winter coat and living in Wisconsin. It doesn't make any sense. It's assumed that you will be prepared for that. When we do the resell re-ask, it maintains that relationship and credibility. It uses the market as the benchmark, and it helps us close our deal by helping our buyer save face. Yes or no? It really, truly does. So, are you prepared? Do you have your empathy statements down? Right? I know I think I always owe more in my car than the market says is worth. Isn't that normal? I think every time I go to buy something, my payments have to be more than I was thinking they were going to be, but I'm getting what I want, right? Do you have your empathy statement ready, and can you deliver it with confidence? Do you have your logic statement ready? Do you know? Hey, remember how we came up? You and I walked out and looked at your car together. Remember, do you use the market in your logic statement? Are you able to redirect them back to the whole package, or are you shortcutting over that? And let's take a look at what you're getting for your money. That's what real sales consultants, master sales consultants do. They overcome with empathy and logic, and they keep going forward with redirect, taking people back to the value of the package. They reassure them, and of course they re-ask. I got to ask you, you should be excellent at this. This is one of the things, if you've been to one of my live trainings, I talked about my second year selling cars. I discovered something the field found turnaround, if you will. I discovered that, and the power that it gave me, that gave birth to this 5 steps years ago, and my income soared. I practiced it and practiced it and practiced it until I could do it well. I knew if I couldn't do it well, I was going to make less money. Maybe I wouldn't even close the car deal at all, but I was going to make less money. Can you do yours well? Okay, let's get to this. Real trade value. This is so important. I need green things here. Should put some green things there. Sorry, I didn't put any green fill in the blanks there, so you might want to circle some of those highlighted words. But the real trade value reminds your buyer of the hidden savings. So your buyer wants you to give them more. They want you to go down. When your buyer goes down, I want you to go up. In other words, I don't want you to increase your price, but I want you to go back and remind them of everything you've given them. That's what master salesmen do. They go back to the concessions already made. And, there's some things. Market value we've given them, discounts. Can I tell you something? Maybe you didn't discount your car. Maybe that used car was online for $29.99, and that's what you sold it for. But aren't you guys pricing your cars competitively low to grab traffic? I bet you that car is lower than Blue Book Value says you could sell it for, and that's what you can point out there. I'm telling you, even if you don't do it, tax savings. How many buyers remember that? I've never had a husband turn to a wife or a wife turn to a husband and say, oh, honey, don't forget we're saving that 7% on tax. Never had it. However, when I've said, and don't forget, you get that 7% tax break, I've had them look at each other and say, that's true, forgot about that. This is so important. Now you've taken that tax and you showed them how that is increasing what we call, not what we're giving them for the trade, but the real value of trading in. If they sell the car outright, they pay more tax. And of course, there's the repair and maintenance savings. Can I tell you something? I get people all the time, I'll just sell my car outright. You gonna sell it to your neighbor? How many of you fear selling something that's working well to a friend? right? I sold a coffee machine to a friend. It was old and it was going, and I sold it to him real cheap. I just said, I hate selling this to you because it could last a day. I don't know. I would rather just sell it online to somebody who saw the value in it and not worry about it, because I don't want to feel bad, right? There's that fear of selling something that's got problems or working well now, but the minute you sell it to a friend will have problems. So remember, when somebody trades in the car, there's value, there's time savings, there's peace of mind savings, and there's money savings. You don't have to put the tires in the brakes, don't have to do the dents and scratches, don't have to have it detailed. The dealership owns it now, it's money you save. And of course, incentives. Most people don't even stop and think, wow, how is that rebate or special finance rate impacting my deal? It is impacting it. When you add these things up, you're giving them a ton for the trade. Can you do it? And are you doing it? Now listen, here's what I'm saying. I believe a lot of salespeople are shortcutting these deals. Maybe not even sitting down and understanding goals, maybe not doing the silent appraisal till the end, maybe not doing an exploration walk, maybe not taking them on the dealership tour, maybe the manager says, I'm not doing an EMI, and then we wonder why our deals aren't going together. And then we present a deal sheet, and as soon as the buyer says, oh my God, I'm not taking a loss on my car, I'll just keep it then, the salesperson pops up and goes to the manager. You know what that says? There's more here. Hang on a second. Let me write this wrong. When you stay seated and you use your real trade value along with your resell reask, it helps your buyer feel more confident in you and in the numbers. And you will close more of these buyers who said, I'm not taking a loss. The loss has already been taken, by the way. It's a question of they want to have the loss on a car they don't want or carry that loss over on the car they do want. Because either way, the money's already gone if the value's less. Okay, and then of course the last one here is cash down. Oh my gosh, cash down is so important. Now, I know you have all this training that the handouts include. If you didn't print them, go back and print the handouts and you can fill in the blank. Managers, you can use these for sales meetings, one a day. There's a lot of cool things you can do with them. I even put your outline here. But here's the thing, if somebody's upside down $5,000 and you get $5,000 down from them, it's a net effect, isn't it? So people have more money in most cases than we think they do. Let's be bold and ask for the money, and let's ask for it in the right way. Of course, cash down, what it does is it just regulates monthly payments, right? That's really it. It doesn't, right? And so a lot of buyers are focused on payments, so more money down works for them. I've got other buyers who like to keep their money on the bank and money in the bank and simply pay more per month. That's cool too. Either way they want to go, we're presenting it in terms of a benefit to them. Now, by the way, WIFM, I thought that was universal, but I guess all these abbreviations have changed, right? And so that stands for what's in it for me. When we're talking about cash down, we have to tell them what's in it for them. That's how you get them to maximize their cash down. Okay, today I've covered 7 things. I could just recall them for you that, we need to do to overcome negative equity. We need to have relationship and trust. The process does that. We need to reset the expectations. The process does that. For the trade-in and pricing. We need to build value, desire, and commitment in the car. The process does that. True? We need to present our deal sheet confidently. Guess what? The process does that. We need to overcome payment, price, trade objections using the resell reask. Guess what? That's part of the process. The process does that. We need to add real trade value to trade objections during our resell reask. Guess what? The process does that. And cash down, we need to use the teeter-totter. And guess what? The process does that. You know what I'm trying to tell you? If you focus on executing your process with excellence 100% of the time, the objections diminish, the problems diminish, your sales go up, and your profit goes up. Now, here's the biggest problem in the car business. Most people would come to this webinar looking for the shortcut, right? I want to lose weight without dieting. I want to gain muscle without working out. I want, but I don't want to do. Life doesn't work that way. Nothing great ever just happens. I love the Olympics advertising. Winning isn't for everyone. And you know what they were showing in there? It costs to win. It showed the hard work of the winners. One of the gals in the Olympics that won the gold medal said, you see the 10 seconds, but you haven't seen the 10 years it took to run those 10 seconds. There's a price to be paid. Now, the problem is a lot of salespeople get confused because you can sell cars without training. They come in, they go out, how are you doing today? Oh, yeah, I've got that car. Sold it. Wow, nice paycheck. I must be a salesman now. People want cars, and they're going to buy cars from you, whether you know how to sell or not. Be nice and work hard. Now, most salesmen fall into that category. They only do what they have to do. And the problem is they underperform or they under-earn. In other words, they're not getting what they're worth. You want to get what you're worth, you're going to have to make a decision. You're going to have to take personal responsibility. You're going to have to look for ways to improve. You're going to have to become a professional and master your craft and turn it into a personal art form. And you're going to have to do all those things if you want what's next, if you want that next opportunity. Okay, so we covered a lot quickly. The cool thing about having things on video is you can stop them, start them, replay them, right, at any time that you want. And I think that's kind of cool. I love watching Netflix that way. I said, what are you saying? I rewind it. It was pretty pivotal to understanding the whole plot of the movie. I can now rewind it and see it. You have access on the playbook. There's so much training, the tools, the training, the thinking you need to deliver excellence. It's at your fingertips 24/7. Maybe before you leave home every day, just pick a video to watch and push play and program yourself on your drive. Maybe you hit the email we send you every day and program yourself on the drive. Maybe you do it as a group in your huddle. We believe that if you just commit yourself to getting a little better every day, better today than yesterday, you will master yourself and master your craft. It's the little differences we make every day that make the big difference and the difference that lasts. So we're asking you, make a commitment to train. Make it a commitment to develop yourself. Commit 15 minutes a day, which is 60 hours a year, to developing your craft and turning it into an art, and you will see great results. So, hey, thank you again for being a partner. Thank you again for being with us. Please rewatch this, print the notes, review what you need to do. Managers, maybe use this in your huddles next week, okay? All right, good selling.